Hi there. So in today's video, I wanted to do another random eyeshadow and makeup look. So I've already got my brows done and I primed my eyes. This time I'm testing out the 07 Kiko long-lasting eyeshadow stick as a primer, and I put it on this eye, and on the other eye I use my regular primer potion from Urban Decay. Lauren recommended this one and she actually thinks that this is better than the primer potion as a primer for the eyes. I have noticed that a big difference between this and this is that the eyeshadow stick has some sort of shimmer going on, and the primer potion side does not have any shimmer whatsoever. Another difference I see is that the primer potion side is a little bit creamier to apply, and the shadow stick is not as creamy. Okay, so I've set up my Excel sheet. I keyed in the names of all my palettes and I organized them by number, basically. And in Excel there is actually a function that helps you randomize numbers, so just plain values, and I've set it up so I can just click enter and it starts to randomize everything for me. Alright, so here we go. I am going to press it. Okay, so I'm getting this palette, right? And let's see. Let's just because I've got the lipsticks and the highlighter and the blush all kind of picked out already. So let's do that. Oh, actually, no, I have not. Hold on. Okay, so I have also gotten this highlighter palette as my palette. These are not the original shades. This Mary Luminizer from the Balm is the correct shade, but these two I pressed Laura Geller highlighters into the pans and I removed the Cindy Luminizer and Betty Luminizer. So sometimes if I bring out something, they will not have the shades that it originally came with, because I like to depot things and put them back together. So this is a custom palette and I'm getting number 3 as my shade. So it's not Betty Luminizer, it's, I don't even know what it's called. It's a Laura Geller shade. So this pink one. Okay. So that's going to be my highlighter. Perfect. And let's see. For my blush, I'm getting, oh, that's easy. This blush. This is the Laura Geller Baked Brulee in the shade Gingerbread. This one's correct. This is the correct shade. Okay. Next up, what do we have? In terms of lip, I'm getting the, oh, this is going to be interesting. I'm getting Black Champagne by Nabla. This is going to be a interesting look because this is going to be a black lipstick. I'm going to have to put a black lipstick on. Yes. Okay. So my second palette is number 12, which is Douce. Juvia's Place, Douce. Alright, so now that I've got all the main stuff picked out, I'm going to pick 3 different shades from each palette using the randomizing system. And so here we go with the Douce. The first shade picked out is row 1, shade 2, column 2. So this shade, this pinky shade right here, And then I guess I can just click it again. Okay, so it's giving me, oops, it's giving me shade 2, no, row 2, shade 3. Thank you. This one. Oh, these two shimmery pinks. Okay. It's a pretty shimmery pink look. Going again. I'm getting row 3, shade 1, which is Berry Mousse, this one. Okay. It's kind of like a grayish beige color. Because I'm kind like, this formula allows me to randomize everything all at once. So each time I refresh, all the values are randomized. So I already have a number that's picked out, which is number 8. This one, this dark brown shade right here. And then again, once more. Oh. Okay. 9. I'm getting 9. So that is this shade right here. Okay. So I've got a brown and pink look and black lipstick. Cool. I can roll with that. So let's go. Okay, so I'm closer now to the camera because I want to show a close-up of the eyes while I apply the eyeshadow. Alright, so I've decided what I will do is, let me just position myself better. So what I will do is I'm going to take that shimmery gray brown shade and put it in the inner and outer corner of the eye. I'm going to be doing a halo eye today. Let's see how it goes. So I think today I'm going to be a little bit more low energy. Just started my cycle, which means I'm in pain and I'm moody. So I think that's okay for an overall like shape. I'm a little bit inexperienced with the halo eye, but I have done it before. It's just that this is usually not the method that I use. So I'm going to go in with the shade right here, this pink shimmer shade. I'm just going to put that smack in the middle of the lid. They look pretty much the same. Maybe there is just a very tiny bit of hint of gold shimmer like right here because of the primer. Okay, so I think I want to put the lightest shimmer pink shade up here. Oh, I just realized that I only picked 2 shades from the Rustic palette. I didn't pick 3 shades. Okay, let me just... So the 3rd shade is actually going to be this yellow mustard color, Erode. Oh boy, how am I going to work this in now? I've already gotten this. Okay, we'll figure it out. Maybe I can add the yellow to the outer edges of the brown so that it has a chance to fade into the background a bit more. Now that I've got that down, I think I'm going to take the this berry mousse shade, which is like this gray. I hope it works. Like right up here. I think this brush is a bit too fluffy. Need something a bit more precise. So I think that I'm satisfied with the general vibe of the top. Now I'm just going in with the dark brown shade, matte brown shade. I'm just going to put that in the lower lash line. Okay, so for the inner corner, I am going in with that pink shade, the first shimmery pink shade that I used. By the way, in between, I'm kind of rubbing off the product on this, like, this is, what is this called? Eyeshadow. You rub it in here and then it just takes off the eyeshadow that's on the brush tip, so you can just go back in again. It doesn't sanitize it, of course, but it just removes the product so you can go in with a completely different color usually without any problems of the shades mixing. Okay. So my cramps, they're killing me. I'm getting really crampy at the moment, so you'll probably see it in my face. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the highlighter shade somewhere on the eye as well, because there's no rules to say what goes where, right? Shade powder, yeah. I don't know if that made much of a difference. I think they're pretty much the same shade anyway. And I don't know how much you can see, but I have lots and lots of fallout under my eyes and it's really messy, so there you go. This is another reason why I don't like to put my foundation on before my eyeshadow. I am going to going to use this. This is actually I put some of this Juvia foundation into this tube so that I could easily just place it on like with the applicator instead of having to pump on the back of my hand. So I've got my foundation and contour on already. So now I am just going to use the blush. Okay, so that's that. And for the shimmer, let's highlighter, let's go in with this down the line and diffuse that out just a teeny tiny bit so it's not so stark. Okay, and then up here and up here. Oh, I like that actually. That's pretty. I think that's pretty. Somehow I feel this shimmer is a bit too high up. Okay. And let's see. Okay, so this is the finished look. I feel like black lipstick is super difficult to get looking just right, especially if you have some sort of asymmetry. Anything that is this dark is going to accentuate the asymmetry even more. So this is the best I could do. And yeah, I put on my mascara and the black lips, and actually I think this look is pretty cool. Actually, to make this more interesting, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to place a little bit of that, what is this called? A pink eyeshadow shade, the lightest one, which actually could be very well used as a highlighter. And I'm just gonna place it in the middle of the lips. Oh, that's so pretty. This just gives it that extra dimension. Isn't that beautiful? Like, highlighters on lips is also a thing that you can do. I just don't do it very often, but with this black lip, it is definitely a good idea to put on a highlighter with a different shift to it, and it will transform the look. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to film the Excel kind of part of this so that you can replicate, like randomizing your own collection if you feel like it, or for any other purpose. It doesn't have to be about makeup, right? So yeah, one good thing about doing this randomized challenge is that you really open up your collection again, instead of just going back to the same like things that you're really comfortable with. And you get to play around with different color combinations that you never really considered, because this just forces you to, you know, just randomly get a shade that is unexpected. And I really actually like this look. It's not something that I would have come up with. I would never think to do this by myself. And I think it's really fun, and it tests your creativity, and it tests you know, your skills. And it's, yeah, I really like it. So I hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna insert the clip for the Excel sheet, and ciao for now. So this is going to be a short tutorial on how to randomize your makeup collection shades and so on. So let's take, for example, that you have 5 eyeshadow palettes. So I've listed 5 different palettes here, as you can see, just for example. And what you want to do is always start, well, okay, you can start elsewhere, but I would recommend that you start at A1 which is the first row and the first column, listing down what the list of palettes or shades or whatever that you want to randomize, so that you can easily reference back to the list when you get your number. So then click on any other cell. It can be anywhere on the spreadsheet, and you want to type in this text bar equal R, all capital letters RANDBETWEEN, so it's rand between, and then open bracket 1 comma, and then the last number of palettes that you have. So if you have 5 palettes, just put 5. If you have 6 palettes, 6, and so on. And oops, okay, and then close bracket and click enter. So once you do that, the number that is listed right here will be a random number between 1 and 5. So it's not necessary for you to list down the palettes. Even if you have 10 palettes, you could just randomize a number between 1 and 10 and have it and then just count from there in your own collection. But this just makes it easier for me to reference back to which palette I was referring to. So palette picked is 2, so the corresponding palette would be the Novena palette, right? Okay, so let's say, for example, that you want to also find a random shade within a palette. So so what you need to do is go and look at your palette and see how many rows and how many columns your eyeshadow palette has. So let's say it has 3 rows and 6 columns. So I put down these numbers here as a reference point, so I know how many rows and how many columns there are, just to make it easier for me. So if you want to have another random number pop up, it's the same formula, equals rand between. There's nothing different about this. Open bracket. So if you're looking at rows and you're looking for a random row picked between row 1, 2, and 3, then you type in rand between equals rand between, open bracket 1 comma 3, and click enter, and it will give you a random number between 1 and 3. And for the column pick, it's the same thing. One and 6. Okay, so there we go. And note that each time I click enter on any of the cells that has a command like equals rand between, it will randomize all the different numbers in your Excel spreadsheet. So 3 and 4 was these two columns turned into different numbers. This one remained the same. However, I'm just assuming that it decided to pick 2 again. So there we go, 1, 1, 1. And you've seen that the numbers have switched. So you can do this for any number of items, whatever you want to do, however extensive you want to make this Excel sheet. You can put your list of palettes, your list of lipsticks, highlighters, etc., etc. And this just makes it easier for you to kind of have everything in one place and randomize everything in one place if that is something that you're interested in. But do take note that every time you click enter, it is going to switch the numbers of every single cell that has the command rand between. So if you want to like take note of the shades before you start randomizing the next eyeshadow shade, for instance, then
yeah, just take a piece of paper or write it down on your laptop, wherever you want. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Hope you found this interesting and helpful. And yeah, you can use it for all sorts of things as well. It doesn't have to be makeup. So yeah, ciao for now.